Hi, my name is Bailey Hillman, and welcome to this engaging experience. So we're going to go over several techniques on how to offer engaging experiences that are research-based. So you might be wondering, like, why am I in this getup, right? Why am I dressed like I am? So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to close your eyes for a minute, and I want you to tell me where you may want to go, right? Tell me where you may want to explore. Okay, where do you want to travel? Where do you want to, go? So if there was no worries about money, no worries about health, no worries about time, you have all the time in the world, you have all the money in the world, and COVID does not exist. Where would you want to go? Where would it be? And you know what? As you close your eyes, just take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. And in your imagination, maybe your first thought was, I want to go to Disney World, right? Disney World. I want to go to Disney World. And then you think, oh, no. Wait, I do not want to go to Disney World because I don't want to go and be around all of these people. So in your mind, just take Disney and the pieces that you love about Disney, right? The characters, the good food, take it, maybe place it in the rainforest. So the sky is the limit, right? You can go and do anything that you want to do. So in your head, I want you to envision, and in the comment section, I want you to type down what you're thinking, right? Tell me where you're going, what experiences you're having in that moment. And while you do that, I want to tell you a story. So while you are coming up with the places that you want to go, real or imaginary, I want to tell you a story. So I just got back from an amazing experience in Sedona, Arizona. And this experience was much needed, right? So if you're in healthcare, which I'm assuming that you probably are, if you're in healthcare, you know that sometimes stress just fills us, right? We just need a break. We need to get away from everything. And that was my getaway. Sedona, Arizona was my place to go and just get away. It's absolutely beautiful there. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful. And so I actually had a guide that was taking me out. It was a wellness retreat. Okay, so we worked through, a lot of things and just getting to relax and go on journeys, on nature journeys, as well as doing relaxation and massages. And so I had a guide that was taking me out on this journey. I got to hike really high mountains, as well as go down into the valleys and the canyons and get to walk in the cold water. I even submerged myself completely into the cold water. But an experience that I remember the most and that I want to share with you is I was hiking up my first mountain. Right. And they said bring a hat and sunglasses and sunscreen and everything else that you may need for a hike. So I did. I had my hat on, not this hat, which, man, this would have been very, very stylish. But I had a hat on that kind of came down around my face, as well as my glasses. And my guide kept saying, look up, right? Because I'd find myself looking down, like, look up, look up. And he said that multiple times. Finally, I just threw my hat off, took my sunglasses off, put them in my backpack, and was like, I am looking up, right? I am taking all of this off and I am looking up. I am missing out on all of this. So I'm taking it off and I am looking up. And wow, right? What a change in taking off my hat, taking off my glasses, and really getting to see a bigger picture of what Sedona looked like. You could see around, like my hat was blocking so much of my view as I was hiking. And so I never wore my hat or my glasses again on any of my journeys because I felt like it was just blocking me, right? It was limiting my vision. So I want to look at where you may have wanted to go. Okay, some of you may have wanted to go to Colorado, right? To ski in the snow. Maybe you love the cold, right? Some of you may have been like, absolutely not, right? I am going to Florida. I am not going to ski. No cold for me. I want to go to Florida. Some of you may be on a cruise ship, Okay, you may be cruising in the ocean and eating amazing food, right? I have been on multiple cruises, and it is one of my favorite ways to travel. So maybe you're on a cruise ship. Maybe some of you are in outer space. Maybe you just want to get away from it all, literally, and go into outer space. So wherever you are traveling, I hope you are having an engaging experience, right? I hope you are seeing the sights. I hope you are smelling the smells, feeling all the feels, and tasting all of the taste. I hope you're experiencing it and taking it all in, and you're looking up. Okay, you're looking up at whatever you're experiencing. So many times, as a healthcare professional, sometimes we get so shadowed, right? We get so closed in and not being able to see the bigger picture. We can't see what's going on around us. We can't see the experiences of our staff. We can't see what our families are experiencing. We can't see what our residents are experiencing. So if you're a healthcare administrator, if you're an activity professional, if you're a social worker, sometimes, just like my guide told me, look up, we have to look up. Right? We have to look up. And at times we have to take off our administrator hat, right? We have to take off our administrator hat and we have to put it to the side. And we have to take off, our uniform and say, you know what? I am not going to be a healthcare administrator today. I'm not going to be an activity professional today. That's not the experience that I want to have. Instead, the experience that I want to have is way different. Okay, it's way different. I want to experience what my residents experience. Okay, so you know what? Just put you on a muumuu. Okay, put you on a muumuu. Maybe even get fancy like me. Okay, and put you on a wig. All right, just like this, so that you too can experience what your residents experience. Okay, this is Opal, by the way. So she actually comes out quite often in my videos. So if you have not seen any of my videos, you may want to go and check those out. Wow, she's having some really bad hair day today. That's okay. There's no worries here. We're just gonna get this wig on and we are going to experience all of it. So as you put on the experiences that you may have as a resident. Okay, so if you are being able to experience your community as a resident, you're going to see things in a very different light, right? Very different light. And so I want us today to go through and figure out, okay, what kind of experiences do we want our residents to have? So what kind of experiences are we wanting our residents to have, right? What are we wanting them to feel? So in our lives, right, in our everyday lives, many of us have life experiences that are different depending on what stage of life we're in, correct? For example, let me give you an example. So you are a teenager, right? At this point, you may really need your friends. Okay, that is something that's very important to you, is friendship with other people. And then as you get older, okay, like in my 30s right now, I would say that I really feel like my family is extremely important to me. That's something that's important to me. And I also need a lot of travel. Whenever I was a teen, I really needed more time to myself. Right? And my friends. I didn't really want to travel much. I just wanted to be with my friends and had to go to school. Okay. But in my 30s, I want to travel and be with my family more. As I get older, okay, or even during different parts of my life, I may need different things. Okay. I may need space and time by myself. Okay. Like this last week, I needed time alone. I didn't need time with my coworkers. I didn't need time with my family. I needed me time. I needed time to myself that I could go and process and relax. And, that's what I needed at that time. And so there's going to be different times in our lives that we're going to need different things. Same thing for your residents and your customers. I'm telling you, all companies at some point, okay, all companies are wanting engaging experiences, right? They all want engagement. That is a huge piece in being in retail industry. And our customers are our residents. Our customers are their families. And I wish today we had more time to go into families. I'll touch on a few pieces here and there, but I really want us to focus on what an engaging experience looks like for your residents, okay? At all of the stages of aging. So what is an engaging experience to them? And in order to know what an engaging experience is, you have to know what the process, okay, you have to have a process set up. And we're going to talk about a process. And I'm going to give you some tools that are going to be emailed to you. I'm going to give you some tools that are going to help you figure out your process. Okay, I've got lots of ideas on this. So I love this quote from Walt Disney, right? And we talked about Disney a minute ago on going to Disney, but maybe you want to go to Disney in the rainforest versus going to Disney, in Florida. So think of a process as a railroad engine. Okay, if the engine does not run properly, it does not matter how friendly the conductor acts. Okay, it doesn't matter how friendly your staff are or how attractive the passenger cars are. It doesn't matter how attractive your facility is. The train will still not move and the passengers will not pay their fares. Process is the engine of quality service. Okay, process is the engine of quality service. You have to have a good process in order to get it moving. Okay, you have to have a good process. It doesn't matter how nice you are, how nice your staff are. It doesn't matter how beautiful your building is. I came to Leading Age Oklahoma last year prior to COVID hitting, thank God. And I was there with you. And there's several of you that came up to me and said, oh, I just work in a little old nursing home. I work in a little old traditional nursing home. That does not matter, right? It doesn't matter how nice the passenger cars look. It doesn't matter how nice your community looks. So if you're wanting an engaging experience, it's way beyond the looks and how nice your people are. It's way beyond that. It's about getting a good process together and everyone being on the same page. And we're going to talk about how to get that engaging process together. So there is, we're going to imagine for a minute, right, that we have people moving into our community. All right. So whenever they come in, I want you just to picture with me for a moment. What is that experience like for them? Okay. So I'm the client, the resident, going to move into your community. What am I feeling? Okay, if you have my hat on and you're viewing this from my perspective, okay, from Opal's perspective, what does this look like? Okay, what's going on? Several things, right? Fear. Okay, I'm feeling fearful. I'm having to give up a lot, so I'm losing things. There's loss in my life. I also am, really sad. Maybe I'm very angry. Maybe my family is making me move here and I'm just absolutely angry. Maybe I'm devastated. Okay, I am just absolutely devastated that I'm having to move into a nursing home. By golly, this is not where I wanted to be, right? I raised 10 kids. They should be taking care of me at home. So I am upset, right, for having to be here. I am overwhelmed. Okay, I am overwhelmed at coming to your community. So when I get there and everybody just acts as if I am pleased to be there and we're so glad you're here and all of this stuff, do you think that's going to affect me at all? No. Be real. Okay, be real with them. Be real and be honest with them. They are feeling overwhelmed, all right, at that time. There is going to be an adjustment period, right? Absolutely. There's research shows that anytime someone comes into a nursing home, there are 3 things that they go through. Okay, there's 3 things. First of all, they're going to feel very overwhelmed. All right, very overwhelmed. Then the next stage that they're going to go through is adjustment. Okay, they are going to eventually adjust. They're not still happy about being there, but they're going to adjust. And everybody is going to go through these 3 stages at a different pace. And then finally, they're going to have the initial acceptance. Okay, they've accepted the fact that, you know what, I'm going to have to live here in this nursing home. I'm going to have to be here because I cannot be home by myself. My family cannot take care of me. So I'm going to have to be here. That's their initial acceptance. Those are the 3 stages, the 3 phases that they're going to go in whenever they move into your community at any stage, whether they're in independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, if you're hospice, whatever you may be. This is going to be the initial phase that they're going to go through whenever they have to move into senior living. You need to know this. Why? Why do you need to know this? Because it is all about their engagement, okay, their experience. We're wanting them to have an engaging experience when they come in. If I am so focused on making them happy and pleased and they're overwhelmed, okay, they are absolutely overwhelmed and feeling loss and grief and disappointment and feeling like they, are declining in their health, I'm way off. Okay, I am way off. That is not what their needs are at that point. And they are not going to have an engaging experience because no matter how many balloons I have, no matter how much confetti I throw, no matter how many parties I have that they're there, they are overwhelmed. Okay, they don't care. They are really upset. I got to meet them where they are. Maybe you have some that come in that are like, absolutely, yes, finally, my family's quit taking care of me. I hate my daughter's house. I am ready to be here. Okay, they're still going to feel a sense of overwhelmed. Okay, maybe it's just the paperwork that makes them feel overwhelmed, and then they're in the adjustment phase. So everyone's going to feel and go through these stages at a different point. Like they're going to go through at a different rate. Okay, but these are typically the stages that people go through. So with that being said, there are also stages of aging, okay, that we're going to look at together. It is important, all right, for us all to realize that we experience things the same way that our residents experience things. I don't know about you, but being in healthcare, I constantly am like, wow, I just experienced something and I think this is what my residents feel like. Okay, I think this is what my residents may feel whenever they have this same experience. Or, oh my gosh, I just had the most amazing experience. I want to recreate this for my residents. Okay, I want to recreate this for my family members. Well, these people were so informative to me, and it made my stay here. Okay, it made me putting my loved one somewhere, or maybe my hospital stay. Something made me realize, oh my gosh, like I want my family or my residents to experience this, right? I want them to go through the same thing. So there's 5 stages of aging. And what I have done for you is I have given you and created for you a document. All right, this is the document. And it goes through the stages of aging. It looks at what the elder is feeling, and then we're going to go through the support and engagement piece. However, there is, so we're going to send this to you. And so I want us to kind of go through it together so that we can really look at what this looks like. Okay. And I want to preface this by one thing. So the phases may be moved through at different rates for different people. Okay. And some phases may even be skipped completely. All right. They may just completely skip a phase and not go through that specific thing. So don't think these are set in stone, but at some point they are going to go through them, or they may go through them. So Dr. Mark Frankel was the one that came up with these 5 stages. And what I've done is I've taken the 5 stages and looked at them in comparison with where they may be in senior living. All right. And then how we may give them an engaging experience where they are. All right. I'm not saying that we're going to be building roller coasters for nursing homes. That's not the experience that our clientele wants, right? That's not the experience that we're looking for. However, there are things that we can do in order to meet the person where they are. And there's a few things that, there's 3 things that we really need to work on trying to meet. And that's mind, body, and spirit. All right. Their mind, body, and their spirit. And so as we go through these, we're going to talk about you know, some engagement, some support that we may give them. So self-sufficient. I love this joke, and I've actually put in some laughing pieces, some laughter here and there. Hopefully, you find them funny. I find them very funny. I asked for a book on self-sufficiency, and he told me to get it myself. Right? Be self-sufficient. So residents or our clients at this stage are typically going to be in independent living or at home. Okay, they're typically going to be an independent or at home. And they're going to say, will my home and community support me as I go through the major ups and downs in life that I'm about to go in? So they're not necessarily worried right then about going into a community, but they are starting to think about it. You know, I'm hitting 80. Of course, you know, like I can't believe with this skin, I'm hitting 80, but I'm hitting 80. And so I need to start thinking and preparing myself for what it's going to look like in getting into a community. So if you are in independent living or if they're at home, and let me tell you this, okay? So if you are not in the community or the level of care that I talk about, I still want you to pay attention, and here's why. Okay, here's why. Because if I am trying to reach, if I am trying to market to people coming into my community, I need to know what stage they're in prior and how to bring them to me at the stage that they are ready for me. So just because I say independent living, you're thinking, oh, I'm skilled nursing, I got a while, just sit here and do my other thing on my, you know, while I'm listening to this. No, you need to pay attention, right? You have to pay attention because you're trying to figure out what these people need and how you can meet their needs. Right? How can you meet their needs? As a skilled nursing facility, I could offer legal assistance because at this stage, okay, at the self-sufficiency stage, they're already starting to think about, okay, I need to prepare and execute legal documents. I need to start making decisions on where I want to go if something happens to me, that I need long-term placement. So you want them in your community. You want them to start hearing about you and seeing you and knowing the things that you have to offer. So why not invite them in and have a you know, education series on legal documents and how to get them prepared and how to do power of attorney and giving them the answers that they may need. All right. The other thing that you may do, so if you're not home care or home health or independent living, or if you are, some of the things that you may be able to do to reach out to the community and reach out to your residents or your clients that you're working with is to do a prevention education series. All right, that's an engaging experience for them because it's answering questions, it's helping them feel and understand where they are right then. Okay, so if I'm wondering about, you know what, I don't want to end up in a nursing home, I want to stay independent, I'm going to have a very engaging experience if I go to education sessions at the local nursing home, okay, or the local senior center, or at the home health agency's office, or at the independent living facility down the street. If I go there and they talk about fall prevention, they have a series every month about a topic. So, you know, there's February is Heart Month. Okay, so if I talk about heart health on that month and have everybody coming in, I serve them a great meal. We talk about, you know, heart health. They get to tour the facility. They get to know the people. They start making connections and relationships with people that are there. That's an engaging experience, even for the person who's self-sufficient. Okay, so even though they're self-sufficient, I am still able to offer them an engaging experience no matter what level of care that I'm at. So giving them prevention education, connection and relationships, okay, bringing in, maybe you have a community bingo night. How fun would that be? Maybe you host a Zoom community bingo. Maybe you have a person set up in your facility that's all about technology and they can come to you and ask questions, like a geek squad where they can ask questions on how do I get on Zoom, right? How do I connect to the internet? How do I download an app? Maybe you do education sessions on that. Like those are engaging experiences that are going to, number one, help your community. Number two, help your clients that you're serving. And it's going to help you market. Okay, what a fantastic way to look at self-sufficiency and that level of care and that level of aging. Food and health is also a big one. Okay, that's a big one for this stage because they're having to cook. How to cook for one? How to cook for two. It's so hard these days to figure out, like, I don't want to make an entire casserole because I'm not going to finish it. So how do I cook healthy meals for one or two? Your dietitian would be a great person to get involved to do this. Okay, they would be a great person to do this. The other thing is So there is another, so that is that's the self-sufficiency stage. Okay, so that's being self-sufficient. The next stage, all right, of aging that our clients go through is going to be interdependence, not independence. It's interdependence. I love this picture, right? I love this funny. Did you remember my mints? Look at the lady. She's got to put all that stuff in her hands, right? That is just wow. So interdependence is usually the individual relying on either a spouse, a partner, a daughter, a son, someone that's close to them to help them and assist them some, but they're still fairly independent themselves. Okay. You're going to find this stage of aging usually in independent living, assisted living, or at home, where the family member is just supporting them a little bit, running and doing the harder things, doing the harder tasks, or having home care come in and do a little bit here and there, maybe stand by while they're showering in order for safety. So what can we do in order to have them engaged? Okay, what kind of engaging experiences can we have for those who are interdependent? All right, so the things that they're thinking about right now, the things that they're going through, the things that they are really thinking and processing at this time is, will I be able to have my needs met and be safe where I'm at? So the more that we can help them feel safe in whatever the environment that they are in and supporting them is going to be beneficial to them at this stage. The other thing is I'm having a decline, okay, but continue to want their independence. So just because I am declining, right? Maybe I am not able to walk as well. So like I have a walker, for example, like in the picture there. So maybe I have my walker, and so I have this, and but I'm still fairly independent, right? I am still fairly independent. And as that person, okay, is losing their independence or losing their ability, they're declining, they still want to maintain their independence. So we can step in, right? We can step in and support them and create those engaging experiences that make them want to connect with us, that make them want to be with us, that make them want to learn more about this community or this service that I have to offer, because I know where they are. That's the same thing that Amazon does with you, that Facebook does with you, that Google does. That the same thing that when you're walking through Walmart or any other store, when you walk through, they have certain research because they know you, okay? They know you, they're watching you, they're tracking you. We need to know what our residents are feeling at certain stages of their lives. So in this stage, okay, interdependence, they still want to be independent, okay? They know they're declining. They know it's toward the end, okay? Maybe I'm 82 now. Well, still looking fabulous, but still 82. Okay, I'm 82 now. And at this point, you know, my daughter's having to come in and assist me. And I know that my time is nearing the end, right? I had a fall and I hurt my leg. And so now I'm not able to walk. I know I'm nearing the end, but my gosh, like I've had such a great life over 82 years. I want to do something. Okay, so maybe it's legacy work. Legacy work is powerful. Okay, it's powerful. You can do it in multiple different ways. You can do a book where they go through and they write. Okay, maybe they're not able to write, so they could put pictures and do stories. Maybe it's recording. Maybe it's recording their story, so they have the audio that they could share with people. Maybe it's a video that you could video them and work on legacy work. Maybe they were veterans. Can you do an entire session or an entire series on veterans and their legacy and what they experienced during those times? So legacy work is so incredibly powerful. This could be done by activities. It could be done by social services. It could be done by your CNAs. Anybody could do legacy work with a resident. Maybe it's your restorative. Okay. Maybe it's admissions. Maybe it's a volunteer. Okay. That's doing legacy work. Maybe you just set them up with Zoom like we're doing here. And then a volunteer is able to get on and record and be the host and do it virtually, where they walk them through a series of questions and ask questions. And the resident sits and is able to communicate and give their story on a video. How powerful, right? How powerful would that be to be able to do legacy work with your clients? Okay, maybe you're in home care and you could do that with your home care residents. That is would be powerful. Another thing is education series, but not necessarily the education that you're doing for those who are self-sufficient. All right, maybe it's more of safety at home. Okay, maybe it is fall prevention. Okay, but in a different way, on removing rugs and all of that. Your self-sufficient people could possibly do more exercise, and you could guide them through, you know, high level exercise. But whenever they're interdependent, they have probably an underlying disability that you may need to change the education that you do. But education series is great for this as well. Offering free home assessments. What? Free home assessments. That is a great idea. Okay, so going in as your home care and saying, hey, I'm going to offer you a free home assessment. Nothing necessary. Like, you don't have to sign on with me or anything. But when you're ready, okay, when you're ready to have someone come in your home, we are the company, because you're going to be connected to us, because that person that I send out to you is going to be so educated on the process that we go through and education that they go through on how to connect with you on a deep emotional level, that you're going to have such an engaging experience with them that you are going to call me whenever you need home care services when we get done with this home assessment. And we're going to leave the home assessment with our logos all over it, and you're going to know this is the number is large, and I'm going to call them because I need home care now. And they came in and they made sure I was safe. All right, so you could do free home assessments, mind, body, and spirit programs. All right, taking care of the mind, deep breathing and meditating, taking care of the spirit, all right, and the soul and the body. Okay, so exercising, engaging. So some of you are in adult day programs where you've been shut down, or people don't want to start coming back. They're fearful of coming back, right? Doing programs online to where they can connect in with you. Okay, they can get to know you. And then as you do series like this for weeks at a time, maybe they've never been to your program before, but when you say, hey, by the way, we're opening up our doors, I want to meet you in person. All right, we have all these precautions in place. You're going to be safe. All right, we promise you're going to be safe. Here's the things that we're doing. Bring them right back in. Okay, the technology specialist that we talked about, having somebody designated that helps with technology. Our seniors are learning quickly. Okay, COVID made them learn real quick. I love it. Okay, I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the most amazing things that has happened during COVID is our seniors really stepping up and using technology. And they are doing a great job. I've had, you know, so many even in our community that call our social worker and have to, you know, figure out how to do Zoom, or they don't have email, and so we're setting all of this stuff up for them. So having somebody in your community that does technology that helps them to better, you know, go about and be connected with you. Okay, those are engaging experiences. So if I'm interdependent, all right, I'm not going to just come tour your nursing home, but you need to start reaching me, right? You need to start reaching me, not just a nice, you know, commercial on TV. You need to reach me at my level, where I'm at right now. All right. So those are several ways that you can do that. The next stage is dependency. All right. This stage is whenever they are needing more assistance with self-care tasks. This is when families, okay, when they have to take them to the bathroom, this is when they start saying, hey, by the way, they're about to go to a facility because I can't do this at home. Okay, so you're going to find these individuals usually at assisted living or at skilled nursing. Okay, and they may still be home. They're just needing more assistance. So maybe they have 24-hour care sitters. So maybe you're a sitting service. Maybe they're at home then, but they're dependent. Okay, they're needing more assistance. And the person is feeling and thinking, you know what, I'm noticing that I'm needing increased assistance with my self-care tasks. And because of that, I'm declining physiologically. So I'm having a physiological decline. And a lot of times with that, it's also a social decline. Okay, or a cognition decline as well, a social decline, a cognitive decline. And so you're having a decline in your body, but also everything else is declining as well. And their really big thing is they want to maintain their dignity, right? I don't know about you, but I was actually telling a friend this story this last week. I went to this bathhouse in Arkansas. Okay, they said that this water is supposed to heal your body. And so you're supposed to go take baths and this stuff. And so I did. I went with a friend. I will never go again ever in my life because the person wanted to bathe me. I had to get undressed and they wanted to bathe me. Heck no, right? No, I am perfectly capable. I told him, I said, you know what? I have a master's degree in bathing people. I don't think I need your assistance with bathing myself. Not right now anyway. Okay. I wanted to keep my dignity. All right. I did not want that. And so whenever possible at this stage, you get to where you're like, you know what? I am going to have someone bathe me. I do need assistance, but they want to continue to maintain their dignity. So how do we do that? Okay. How do we do that? In skilled nursing, assisted living, or at home, all right? Or if you're at other stages like hospice or home care or hospice or palliative care, like you could start reaching these people that are dependent because eventually they may need you, all right? So getting your name out there and helping and assisting them. So there's these things called hope focus groups. It's actually a research, it's actually researched. They have an entire series in a journal article on how they use certain questions to define what hope is, put individuals that lived in nursing home facilities in these hope focused groups, and they were able to really increase their hope. Okay, and increase their mood and increase their spirit in living in a nursing home facility. So what happens, remember, overwhelmed, okay, they feel overwhelmed, they have that initial adjustment, or they feel overwhelmed, and then they have the initial adjustment at the end, right? So they're going through those phases. So you want to get them in the beginning, you want to start really helping them get through the process of that initial overwhelming and getting them to that adjustment phase. As they come into your community. But what happens a lot of times is you see a decline. Most individuals who live in a nursing home or get admitted into a nursing home have an initial decline, both cognitively and physically, as they come into the building. So you want to stop that, right? You don't want that to occur. And so doing these hope focused groups, okay, on focusing on the positive, focusing on the hopes that you still have, may be a way, and research has shown, to help decrease that decline, that initial decline that you see. So if you could put them in a hope focus group, you could help with that initial decline that they may have. You could also do a senior educating senior series. So not you educating them on prevention, right? That's kind of that's not really where we are at this point. They're just wanting to maintain their dignity. They still want good health, but that's kind of in your hands now. They're dependent on you. And so at this point, you want them to be able to educate other seniors on things they know. This is going to help them, right? It's going to help them cognitively. It's also going to help their esteem, okay, and their loneliness. It's going to help them be connected to people, so they're not going to feel as lonely. And so if you have them educating other people, wow, like what a great way to highlight my legacy. Okay, so it's a way of doing legacy work in a roundabout way. We all love telling stories about what we've done. Right? We love telling stories. I had a resident that was Spanish speaking, and he loved speaking Spanish, but our community didn't have a lot of Spanish speakers, and our residents, there's very few that spoke Spanish. And so we had him educate the other residents on words in Spanish. The residents loved learning something new, right? It's helping them cognitively, it's helping everybody connect together, and it's helping the resident who's teaching be able to explore and be proud of something that he has that no one else does, a skill that he has that not many others in the community had. And so what a great way when they're dependent to make them feel as though they still have their dignity. Okay, they still have their dignity. They still are independent. They still have something to offer, all right? The other thing is a staff and volunteer resident partnership, right? So having a staff member assigned to a resident. You know, we do this where we have a whole hallway of people, and then our leadership team member is supposed to go down and check on them and check on their room, and, you know, all like angel rounds or whatever you may call them. However, wouldn't it be nice for me to be able, as a staff member, if I wanted to be an adopt a grandparent program, to adopt a grandparent? I could adopt, you know, the person down the hallway that I just absolutely love and adore. Okay, I can adopt them. And in adopting them, I can write them cards and letters. Okay, I can go check on them when I'm working. You know, I would steer away from buying things. Okay, and you'd have to be very careful and set good guidelines. But again, it's all about the process. Okay, it's a process. It doesn't matter how nice your staff are. It's a process. So making sure you have written out good guidances on you can't accept anything from them, even though you're their partner. You shouldn't be buying things with your own money. But however, here's some great ideas on things you can do with them. Okay, here's some things that you can do because that is your adopted grandparent, or you're the staff and resident partner, or whatever it may be. And maybe your residents at this point could also write things to your staff. Okay, that's a great idea. Let the resident encourage a staff member. Okay, and give them the gratification too. So it's a two-way street. Your staff are adopting someone, they're looking forward to coming, and then your resident also has someone to look forward to seeing. You'd also do this with your volunteers, even though they can't come in the building right now. They could do it remotely. Okay, they could be remote, and they can drop in and take care of their resident. So a great way. Make-A-Wish program is also good during this time. So as they are becoming more dependent, okay, as they're losing their independence, maybe I'm 84 now, again, looking fabulous, but 84. So as I'm 84, I am nearing the end of my life, and I maybe wanted to travel to Paris. Maybe I can't actually travel to Paris, but you could set up something to where I feel like I'm traveling to Paris. Okay, maybe I get to make a wish. You get to make it come true by dietary coming in and making a dish for me from Paris, and you put up a projector, and I see the Eiffel Tower, or whatever it may be that I wanted to see in Paris, or maybe I wanted to go to the rainforest. I don't know what it is about the rainforest, but I love it. Okay, maybe I have monkeys and jungle noises going around whenever I'm in there and eating something that's rainforest like, okay, like plantains, I think. So experiencing something and making a wish. Maybe it's that I wanted to talk to my sister. I haven't talked to my sister in forever, and she lives out of state and she's in a nursing home. Maybe that's my wish. Could you make that come true? Absolutely. Okay, absolutely you can make that come true. Hello, we have technology. Call the other nursing home. If they won't make it come true, then by golly, that's terrible, right? Write a Google review. But do make a wish, okay? Make a wish during this time as they're declining, but still able to, they're still able to cognitively participate. What a great program. So make a wish program. That is an engaging experience for your residents. Okay, if I was looking for a placement for my mom, and they said, we have all of these programs. We do a hope focus program because we really don't want her to decline whenever she comes in. We do a Make-A-Wish program because, we really believe in the power of, letting them live out their legacy and giving them that dignity and independence. And we like for them to be able to choose something that makes them happy. And so we have a Make-A-Wish program. We also have a resident and staff partner program where they get to tag up with a resident or a staff member. And, your mom is going to really get to adopt that person and write letters to them and color pictures. And, they're going to get to see pictures of their children and share their life together. Like they get to connect on a deeper level that still has boundaries, but they're connecting on a different level. I would be like, yes, my mom will live there. My mom will participate there, because I can tell that you are worried more about her than filling your beds. Does this mean that I have to have a pretty nursing home? No. Does it mean that, the food needs to be top notch? No. It's all about connection. It's all about meeting them where they are right then. It's about engaging where they are. Okay, so that dependency stage. So as they go through the dependency, okay, they're dependent. And now, okay, I've now hit what, 86, 87? Let's say we're 87. Okay, I don't want to get too old. Let's say I'm like 89. Okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I even still have all my hair, right? My hair is actually staying put. I even have some from when I was younger. So crisis management is the fourth stage. All right. So in this one, I love this. It says, once you get the hang of it, crisis management is fairly straightforward. Panic, eject, or bail out, right? You one or the other. As we have crises, okay, as families have crises, this is whenever it's just exceeded our ability. Okay, this is when they're for sure walking into a nursing home and they're saying, you know what, whoa, my mom, I cannot do this any longer, right? It's exceeded my capacity. I can't do this. I am done. I am panicking. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to call. I don't know next steps. I don't know anything legal. I don't know. They're in crisis. Okay, they come into your building. This is usually skilled nursing. Hospice or palliative care is usually at this point. okay, is whenever the crisis hits, this is where they're having to turn. So they also, at this point, we need to understand that the elder is feeling that they're having a physical and mental decline. Okay, their condition has declined rapidly, and they're becoming very dependent on others, very dependent. All right, they're needing more and more self-care needs, but they don't want to burden anyone. Okay, a lot of our residents don't want to burden anyone, and they want to be able to do things themselves whenever possible, no matter how small the task. They still want to feel as though they have that independence. They want to feel as though they are able to, do things on their own. So at this stage, you want to make sure you have maybe an I am program. All right, I am able. I am able to feed myself if I have utensils that are appropriate for me. I am able, okay, to put my right arm in my sleeve if you will let me and give me time. And if I'm sitting up, I am able to sit up on the side of the bed and shift my weight in order to get into my wheelchair. I am able to wash my face if you'll set me up in front of the sink and give me a washcloth. I am able. Okay, I am able. Even though I am in crisis, even though I am having major decline, I am still able to do a few things on my own. This is an interdisciplinary approach, right? This is interdisciplinary. Your therapy team would be a great team to be able to set this program up initially with maybe self-care tasks. However, your CNAs, if you task them with this, say, hey, I want you to find 5 things that they are able to do and let me know. If you tell your activity professionals, or if you are the activity professional, find one thing that they are able to do that gives them that sense of self-worth, mind, body, spirit, right? Gives them that self-worth inside, internally. Write it down, okay? Educate everybody on the I am able program, because they still want to be able to do things. And so you need to be the one that helps them and facilitates those things that they want to do, all right? The other thing is self-expression. So at this point, physically, cognitively, they may be declining. But however, we have found that through the arts, there's a ton of research on how music and art, okay, and self-exploration and collaging even really helps people connect and express themselves. And so having a program where you're a process, okay, remember, we're all about processes here, because it doesn't matter how nice or how not nice your facility is. It doesn't matter how mean or nice your people are. It's all about these processes that you're putting into place and the education that you're able to do around them. So your self-exploration program is allowing you to be able to say, hey, we allow our residents to explore. And we have this one wall, random wall. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in a room. It doesn't have to be nice. It just needs to be a wall where we are able to put up their legacy work. Okay. You hear the music going on. It's what our residents created. Okay. You hear it over the sound system, or you hear it, if you go over in this one corner, you can hear it playing. You can watch videos of our residents doing music or doing art. This is where they get to self-express themselves. They get to connect with their mind, their body, and their spirit. There's also things like sound healing. All right, great processes that you can go through. Sound healing and essential oils. Those are both extremely healing and focusing and really bringing a person back to their center, okay, and taking care of them, okay, in their wholeness, not just their medical need, but they're them, okay, taking care of their soul. You also want to make sure that you're giving them the just right challenge. That is going to give them an engaging experience in your community, is if they are having just right experiences and just right challenges. All right. So this can be in any area. All right. So if you have them in their eating, okay, for their meal, they need a just right challenge. Right. So if it's finger foods, it's finger foods. If they're able to still eat and you just have to make it finger foods, and by golly, do it. If it's equipment, do it. If it's activities, do it. You want them to feel as though they are challenged, but then also successful. Can't be too easy or be childish. Can't be too hard. They'll feel defeated. Just right challenge. Right. Just right challenge. So that is the 4th stage of aging. So they are in crisis mode, maybe they're just coming in, maybe they're in your building and something tragic has happened. Maybe they were in independent living in your building and now they're having to move to another level of care. And so you are working through their crisis management. You know, what is very good about this stage, and if you have a CCRC or a continuum of care and they're going from, you know, assisted living into nursing home, you could talk about the transitional programs that you have. If you have this process set up and you have different programs for different stages of aging, and talking about them. So end of life. We should talk about our final arrangement so the kids aren't burdened with it. Why should we care? It'll be their problem. Right. Well, at least we talked about it. Nobody wants to really discuss end of life. Okay. Nobody wants to discuss end of life. And at this point, it's hard for others and some people to talk about. I love end of life. I don't like the death process. I'll be honest. There are some people that, you know, just absolutely love it. I have someone who I work with that, you know, she loves being there at the end. If we have a resident who's passing and their family hasn't made it, she's the one that's going to sit there and hold their hand and sing to them and pray with them and give them encouragement to let go. Others of us do not do well with that. I don't do well with that. I love end of life, getting up to that point. I don't like that point. And so I just don't work well with people at that stage. I've got great programs to do, but you won't find me in the room doing that necessarily. And so end of life care. Okay. So as we get to the end, these are the individuals who are needing all of our assistance, right? They're needing extensive personal help at this point. And end of life decisions are having to be made. So palliative and hospice care are really coming in at this point. And you're going to find these residents in both of those locations, as well as possibly skilled nursing. Okay. And again, they could be in all different settings. I'm just giving you where they mostly are going to be located. And so their greatest desire, the one thing that they're wanting, is comfort, okay, and safety. They're wanting to feel safe, comforted, and then also connected, all right? I am passionate about making sure that at the end of their life, like at the end of life like this, okay, whenever they're nearing the end, that they are not alone, not alone. I don't like, as we have that gradual decline, I don't want that person to be left alone. And so there's several programs, there's several processes that you can put into place that helps them to have an engaging experience even at the end. All right. Compassionate Touch is one of the programs. I talked about this whenever I was there for a Leading Age Oklahoma conference last year. It's a great program. I'm a Compassionate Touch educator. I come in and teach the staff how to compassionately touch their residents. You know, most of us are like, oh gosh, COVID, nope, no touching. No. We still have to touch. We still have to provide care. You can do and get trained on compassionate touch even with COVID. This is one of the most important programs, I believe, that anyone really needs to educate their team on, because it's a quick approach. You only do like 6 strokes. It's not like a program where they have to be in there for 30 minutes. It's adding to their toolbox of skills and being able to skillfully touch someone in order to make them feel the compassion, in order to make them feel the love that we have. They're not getting touched by their families as often as they had. Okay, they're not getting seen by their families or communicated with by their families like they had in the past. They're missing out on that touch. This is an important piece to have for your staff, especially for end of life. And I'm telling you, we're having more and more residents die because of COVID and because of end of life, because of the lack of touch and connection. And so I encourage you, Compassionate Touch, if you have not seen it, if you've not looked into it, call me, okay? Because Compassionate Touch is something that now is the time. Now is the time. A Namaste Program. I talk about this one a lot, okay? A lot. I did close down our Namaste Program in the beginning, then we just adapted it with COVID precautions. But it's important, okay? So Namaste is where you take individuals who are end of life, okay? Maybe they reside in a jerry chair, Broda chair, or reclining chair, whatever you may have in your building. Hopefully not a jerry chair any longer, but in reclining chairs, okay? And they're transferred into comfortable spaces, and they're given the sensory, okay? The touch, the smell, the sights, the sounds. Like they're given all of these experiences in a group, a small group setting, socially distanced, and one person is catering to all of their needs. So instead of putting them back in bed because of bed sores, or because they can't sit up for very long and then having to get them back up and down, they go into a place where instead of being isolated in their room alone, they're able to be with someone and still loved on and cared for and connected, right? And safe and secure. Weighted blankets put on, warm blankets. The room is warm, okay? They're comfortable. They're in a comfortable position. So maybe I'm 95, right? And I don't want to die alone. And you don't know when I'm going to die. I definitely don't want to be dying alone. I'm not maybe dead right now, but I'm dying. Okay. So don't just put me by myself. Okay. Give me encouraging music. Give me uplifting readings that you're reading to me. Okay. Help me know that I am loved and cared for at the end. Namaste. Spiritual experiences, going outside, getting into nature, okay, meditation, guided imagery, whatever it may be at this stage. I mean, even though they may not be responding, help them imagine things as they're closing their eyes. Bailey, I want you to imagine that you're walking through a rainforest. Do you hear the monkeys? Yeah. Do you hear the waterfalls? Gosh, it's beautiful here. Take in a deep breath. Do you smell the smell of rain, that freshness, right? No dirt in the air. Yeah, what a relaxing time. Music and sounds, right? Music and sounds are great. Legacy listening. So all that legacy work we've done throughout the stages of aging, now they get to just sit back and listen. Billy, you have impacted so many lives through your education. So many. That's what I want to hear, right? At the end, I want people to say, my gosh, Bailey, you have impacted. So you have touched so many healthcare professionals who then have touched so many lives of residents and family members. You have made a huge difference in everyone's life. That's listening to your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to listen to? What should your residents get to listen to as their legacy? Instead of us waiting until we read their obituary, let's read it to them, right? Let's read to them what they have done, their great accomplishments, all of their family who loves them, all of their family who's passed on, talking about them, because you know what? They're about to see them, talk about them. So legacy listening. And then your final farewell. Okay, this is so incredibly important, right? It's so incredibly important with their final farewell. We've talked about this. Let me just go over some of the final farewell so everybody will know. If you have not seen it, you can actually have an entire education series on it, on how to do a good final farewell. But after the person passes, you can drape them with a flag or a blanket that maybe your community has made. And then you escort them out with Amazing Grace or taps or their favorite hymn. All right. And you're saying your goodbye. Your staff are saying their goodbye. You're saying your goodbye to the family. You're giving the family a piece to remember you by. Okay. You're doing well at the end. And so this is a powerful piece. My staff will say, oh, I cry whenever I go through this. I end up crying, and it's okay to cry. You're saying your goodbyes. This is the time that it's okay to let the family see your emotion, because you loved their loved one. Okay. You love them like they loved them. And that's okay. It's okay to hurt and to miss them already, but we got to celebrate their life. So you want to have a magical ending. All right. You want to have something magical at the end. And so it's so important to be able to offer this to your families, okay, because the resident's gone, right? However, your residents who are still there will get to participate in this. And so they will know that at the end, they're going to do a final farewell with me, all right? And maybe they get to plan their own final farewell. This is what I want mine to look like, okay? I want you to play this song, and I want, my family to do X, Y, and Z, but I want this magical ending, and this is what I want it to look like. And so you could definitely do that. But a final farewell is a way to say goodbye. It's a way to end it well. If you hadn't done things quite right all the way up until this point, let's say the family was complaining quite a bit, right? They were just really complaining a lot. If they go through your final farewell, you probably have done everything right. If you've done everything right and you screw up the end, okay, if you screw up the end and they don't have a magical ending, you will probably have done nothing right. So make sure you get the end right, not just the actual end, but giving them a cart of food and water as they sit and they are with their loved one in the end. Send in someone to help support them. Make sure they're comfortable and warm. Make sure that they have spiritually the needs they need, and the people coming in to visit that they might need to come in and visit, even if it even if it does have to be virtually. So give them that magical ending. So now that we have gone through the journey, I want to give you just a few more, we're closing up, but I want to give you just a few more things, a few more tools. So you want to write out this process, okay? So I want to share with you, I'm going to share a different screen real quick before we go over this one. So this is the document that pretty much we've walked through in this presentation. It's the engaging experience through the stages of aging. And so each stage, I give you the stage, I give you what the elder is thinking and feeling, and their abilities, and then we talk about support and engagement. So we went over every one of these items. So I'm going to give you this handout. You can download it and use it, but this could be your steps and your process for your building. Okay, so you can use this same layout and say, at this stage, when they're self-sufficient, here's how we're going to do it. My marketing team's going to go out because I'm hospice. I don't have self-sufficiency. Okay, I'm going to go out and educate and do legal document education. I'm going to do education on prevention. I'm going to start building those connections. And you can go through each stage and say, here's how I'm going to reach people at this stage. Here's the communities that I'm going to go in if you're hospice. I'm going to go in these communities and really partner with them so that I'm their referral, right? I am their number one referral. Not that they don't give a list, but they say, hey, we work best with this partner. So you can go through and make this your process. Remember, it doesn't matter how nice your nursing home is. It doesn't matter how nice your people are. It matters what processes you have in place, what things you're able to communicate, what things you're able to market, the flow, the quality of service. That's what matters. So don't get hung up on, I'm an administrator of like a 25-bed facility and it's just like ugly, smells bad, looks bad. Change it. All right, change it. You have the ability for very low cost. None of these things cost money, like a lot of money anyway. It's just time. And you have the people, all right? You have people and resources. Use your volunteers, use each other. Hospice come into nursing homes help hospice. I mean, you all work together in order to go through these stages of aging. The other thing that you could do is something like this. This is a customer journey map from Inquire. I like this map. I found it in some of my research, gosh, a long time ago. And I've kept it because I like how it goes through like the guiding principles. It talks about the stages, the mental state of that person, what they're doing and how they're, going about and researching what they're thinking and what they're feeling. And so this is a good way you could fill in whatever you're trying to figure out on your customer's journey. You can fill this in. This is an adult daughter searching for a loved one's placement. Okay, and what they're doing. This is a great one for all of us, right? So we know what stages they go through before they place their loved one with us, and what they're feeling and what they're thinking, even after in the post purchase, okay, and post move in. I mean, you can see here, do I need to look for another provider? I hope not. Right? I hope we're doing our job well enough and we know what they're feeling and thinking that we're going to keep them there as our customer. And so this is a great tool for you to use in order to really help your customers on their journey and to understand really what is going on with them. So I want to tell you, I am just so thankful to be here with you. Opal is thankful. Bailey, I am thankful for being here with you. And I just want to say that you are doing good work. You really are. You're doing excellent work. I pray that you have and you are able to create these experiences, these engaging experiences for your customers at all levels of their aging. Because I know that if you do this for them, you're not only going to impact them, but you're going to impact your staff. You're going to impact your volunteers. You are definitely going to impact their families, as well as the resident. And so it's going to be a process. Okay? You're going to have to get processes put into place. You're going to have to put intention behind this. All right. But I want you to take off your hat, take off your glasses. Okay. Look around and think, there's so much more here to offer than what we're offering now. And so we have to get into character. We have to know what they're experiencing in order to give good quality service to our residents that are here, those who are coming, those who are leaving. We've got to give that good quality of service. And so I pray that today, this webinar has really opened up your mind to other options and things that you may think, man, I really want to offer that to my residents and to my staff and to the families, because it's important. right? Our work is important, and you, again, are doing a great job. So thank you.